This nibble originally aired on RSBANDB Update, episode 837, The Emerald Dark Horse. Enjoy. Before we move on, any thoughts about where we're headed after this is all said and done?
The end goal of these 20 years is?
Yeah, the end goal of the Once Upon a Time.
I hope we really get some collaboration. I hope something goes terribly wrong, and maybe this is too big of a scope for this style of quest. Something goes terribly wrong, and we get to team up with Relomia to actually fix it. And she gets the kind of renown. I would love to end up with the end of this being some kind of cheer for her. Listen, I like her character.
Yeah, and
they're building her up as like somebody who's been really kicked down. She's there,
right? Because you remember her arc started so low, and if it was to wind up at the end and effectively end up redeeming herself, that would be a big thing throughout this. And I think that's something actually Diana suggested in the first chapter of this thing. Going back,
how long ago was the last installment of this?
I want to say April?
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like this is something that should have had a previously on Once Upon a Time.
Yeah, last one was April. Before that was January.
Yeah, that's too much space without having some kind of a quick little cutscene. Story recap.
Remember last one? Last one had Draz in
it. I like that they had us go back, like the quest. If you don't look at the guide or anything, it has you go back to the Blue Moon and then the Jolly Boar, and you talk to the bartenders, and you kind of hear like, oh yeah, she had a party here at the the inn, and then we go over here and she had this. What was the second one? They explain to you again the things that you did and that she did to you when you picked her up at those places. So they've got a little bit of that in there. But yeah, you're right. They definitely kind of throw you into closed off and say, hey, to fix something about her. Oh, okay.
And I think the thing that people missed from this one compared to the last one was that the last one had those cutscenes where you could actually go into the alternate universe of that quest. In flashback.
Yeah, which they could have done for this, but I guess honestly the voice lines talking people seem to do enough of a job to get the message across that we're not the ones to help you, but also here's some funny dialogue.
Because, I mean, the threads it pulled on from those other quests were just a few dialogue lines from those few characters, and I think in terms of the people that I talked to who felt this one was lacking was because you didn't in effect go back and experience any of those quests and you just did it through dialogue. I think that's the big thing that people were pulling out on this one.
Personally, I will say that I think they did justice to having the funny RuneScape dialogue that I like out of a quest. They hit some narrative development points. I think they made it too so that if you were a person who wanted to spacebar through quests and to use a guide, you could do it real quick. Like I think they hit both sides of the population, the people that want to read dialogue and hear the RuneScape humor, and the people that want to just have it done with.
Yeah,
they appeased both sides well with that.
And Mod Jack is on the record of saying this, is that it's okay to have a quest that encourages spacebarring. I don't know if those are his exact words, but he has effectively said that we can have quests that encourage people to just play through it quickly for people who aren't usual questers.
There's not a barrier to them, having the content.
Yeah. And you also see that with the graphical cutscenes as well and whatnot. So
on the whole for this one, I'm trying to think of characters that have been in the game. The thing that they've done with these, in honestly 3 fairly short quests, is that they've given Relomia, the character, a ton of character development. They've built her out a backstory and had some really development in who she is and how she thinks about things and her outlook.
I know.
Honestly, I don't know if we've had a whole lot of characters like Cyrissus, potentially, from Dream Mentor and Lunar Diplomacy, but we've not had a whole lot of characters that we've kind of these are RuneScape characters, and now we know a bunch about them, and they've changed a lot.
I think I know what they're doing here with her.
Yeah.
On the live stream this week, Maud Osborne said there's still a lot of characters they need to bring in. to the Elder God Wars arc. And you couldn't just bring Relomia in without building a backstory for her.
And boy, does she have, like, you think about the other god emissaries, they exist. You can maybe name yours. I couldn't name the Zarin one.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows Relomia. They know what she's about. They know what she's likely to do. And what she's likely to do has changed since the start of the year. Like, they are building her into a specific character.
And they're going to use her at some point in the Elder God Wars arc. That's what this is all about.
They've done that. I'm sure that I'm missing people, and our clanmates and people that listen to this could be like, yo, this guy, you're forgetting this guy. But, like...
Right. But who is a better foil?
Than 99% of the other NPCs.
But who is a better foil to the World Guardian than Sliske? When Sliske is not there, you fall back to his emissary.
And she, like, again, the Sliske masks and her, they bring in a nice, like, there's some humor element there without going off of the, like, there's some story element here. It's hidden in the humor. Also, like, you know, this is just a big story that's going on right now. It's stressful, but here's some Sliske. That going for you.
I think
Not to say this is a joke, but, like, that's his role.
I think we just figured this out. You can find full episodes of RSBANDB Update right here on this YouTube channel. If you found this video useful or just enjoyed it, like and subscribe, or leave a comment.